Super Bowl 58 is headed to Las Vegas, Nevada in the upcoming 2023-2024 NFL season. It's every team's goal, of course, to get to the Super Bowl and win it, but some teams are not quite ready yet. Maybe they're one player away, a few pieces away, or just blew the whole thing up and need to rebuild from nothing. But here are 5 teams, I believe, that need to win a playoff game. Not only make the playoffs, but win a playoff game in the upcoming NFL season, or else big changes will come to those franchises. The Detroit Lions are the team that needs to not only make the playoffs, but to win a playoff game next season the most. As you can see here, they're the favorites to win the NFC North at plus 130, and this team has made all the correct moves the past 2 years to put themselves in a position to take this division. And the man behind it all is Dan Campbell. He's a guy's guy. The players love playing for him. The amount of changes in the positive direction on the offensive and defensive side of the ball ever since Dan Campbell became the head coach of the Detroit Lions has been insane. They have a great rushing attack, a plethora of wide receivers on offense, and a great aggressive pass rush defense led by Aiden Hutchinson, number 2 overall pick 2 years ago in the NFL draft. This team is on the rise, and they need to win a playoff game. The Detroit Lions haven't won a playoff game in 31 years. If you're a Detroit Lion fan that's 31 years and younger, you have not seen them win a playoff game. And this is the perfect time in the division they are in, with a Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers, a rebuilding Chicago, and a shaky Minnesota team. This is the time for the Detroit Lions to win the division. Unless you've been living under a rock, it is not breaking news by now that Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the New York Jets. And with that becomes a boatload of expectations. But he has Sauce Gardner, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Garrett Wilson, Offensive Rookie of the Year, as well as plenty of other strong supporting casts on both sides of the ball. Elijah Vera-Tucker, Breece Hall, DJ Reed, just to name a few. With Robert Saleh at the helm of the New York Jets, the head coach is coming into his 3rd year. He needs to win a playoff game more so than anything. I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat, but people aren't really convinced that he's the guy either. So he's in a lukewarm situation, and with the injection of Aaron Rodgers into this offense, the standards for this team and Jets fans are only going to be higher and higher. This team needs to win a playoff game next season in the NFL. And how could I forget to mention, they haven't won a playoff game in 12 years. It's been a long time. The next team sharing the division with the Jets, the Miami Dolphins, are a team that needs to make the playoffs and win a playoff game in the next season in the NFL. With Tua healthy, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, the flexible committee running back system they use there, as well as having Xavier Howard now paired with Jalen Ramsey in the secondary, this team is doing everything right on both sides of the ball, and you could tell they are going all in to try to win this division next year. Year 1 under Mike McDaniel, especially on the offensive side of the ball, overall was a success. He showed what he could do with the weapons at his disposal, but was held back by the fact that Tua suffered multiple concussions and had to miss a lot of time. They would have won that playoff game versus Buffalo if they had Tua last year, and I wouldn't have even had to include them in this video. But here we are, year 2 of Mike McDaniel. They need to win a playoff game. He's the offensive head coach to do it down in Miami when you're surrounded by all this talent on both sides of the ball. They gotta break the 22-year playoff win drought. Broncos fans may or may not like it, but that is the face of your franchise. He and Sean Payton are responsible for turning around the Denver Broncos next season in the NFL. Sean Payton comes in trying to fix the whole Russell Wilson situation. The first year after that trade was an absolute disaster. The Seahawks made the playoffs with Geno Smith, and the Denver Broncos missed the playoffs with Russell Wilson. Nobody in the world would have expected that, but here's Sean Payton coming in to see what the hell happened last year to Russell Wilson and to find out how to steer this ship of the Denver Broncos in the right direction. But this team isn't that far off of fixing their issues. I believe it all just comes down to the coach and the quarterback play is really all they need to improve on, given they have plenty of good young receivers like Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, KJ Hamler, as well as veteran receiver Courtland Sutton, who's always been solid when he's on the field. They tend to use running back by committee, but they have a stud in Javonte Williams who needs to recover from that ACL injury that set him back last year. But it all lies on the shoulders of Russell Wilson because the defense has been stellar, ranking 12th in the NFL in giving up only 21.1 points per game. The defense is great, it's just a matter of if the offense can produce at a consistent level with Russell Wilson, and they can go back to being what they are, a playoff team and a competitor in the AFC West. The Los Angeles Chargers absolutely need to return to the playoffs and win that divisional round game next year, given how they lost it last year to the Jacksonville Jaguars, blowing a 27-0 lead practically at halftime. This coach, he is on the hot seat, and I am dumbfounded by how this guy is not fired. Brandon Staley should not be the head coach of the Chargers this year, and if they don't win a playoff game next year, he is gone. Justin Herbert had one of the best rookie seasons of all time in 2020 for a quarterback, and he's only continued to get better in the NFL. And he's surrounded by elite wide receivers in Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, as well as drafting another young rookie in this year's NFL draft. They have the best running back. They have Joey Bosa on defense, Derwin James on defense, and a plethora of dogs on the defensive side of the ball. Stud left tackle in Rashawn Slater. It is no question as to why this team shouldn't be a perennial playoff team every single year moving forward. Justin Herbert has potential to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He has great size, arm talent, kind of mobile for how big he is, and this team is just absolutely loaded with talent on both sides of the ball, and all they need is a stable head coach and to have a little bit better injury luck, and maybe they could be a competitor to win it all. But at the bare minimum, the Los Angeles Chargers next year have to win a playoff game, where big changes may happen. So there you are, the 5 teams that I believe must win a playoff game next year in the NFL, and need it for themselves and their fan bases, or else big changes are likely to occur. Thank you so much for watching.